Let's just hope this character goes over better financially than Toy's last attempt at the concept. Murayama is back this week, and as such, they skipped the usual intro and we went right into some actual plot progression, with the Precure already arriving on a new alien planet to find the next star pen. The planet was called Xenia. I see someone is a fan of Capcom RPGs, and it was basically Las Vegas in space. I'm guessing Murayama let the series director indulge in the fact that he once made a whole movie about the Straw Hat Pirates going to a casino. The many lights and sounds of the sea contorted Hikaru's face into a strange shape, and oh geez! And all of a sudden, a fairy character takes the lead in the meme face folder. Boy, Hikaru, you got some catching up to do, girl. Anyway, the reason Prudence was making this face was because of this Ronka Lee-looking idol. She was simply known as Mao, no, not that Mao, and was probably the most popular idol of the world of Hoshizora. Your Takachin is showing, little blue alien. However, they obviously needed to focus on finding the pen, and thus their search led them to a building that just so happened to have space auction written in a very familiar looking language.
That's why I wrote the instructions in English, the most popular language in the human world.
I mean, I guess the Precure's pendants could be translated for them, and we're just seeing it from their perspective, but why in English? Well, anyway, our resident rich girl had secondhand experience with auctions, having attended May with her father. Thus, they felt confident going right in, until Hikaru ran into some guards with some, unique designs.
Okay, he's a Balchinian.
Since it was an invitation-only auction, the Precure couldn't get in. And just to rub a little more salt into the wound, some upper-crust dragon alien named Dramas arrived in his not at all overcompensating limo. He explained that security had been up because there were rumors that the Phantom Thief Blue Cat was in town, as pretty much dictated by the show's OP. The rich boy also introduced them to his special guest, Mao, who just so happened to have very cat-like features. Well, I'm sure that won't play into this episode one bit. Anyway, she took an instant liking to the Precure and convinced Dramas to let them in. After borrowing some cute outfits, our heroines entered the auction hall that reminds me of the Galactic Senate from the Star Wars prequels. Oh no, they're gonna spend the remainder of the episode talking about political jargon, aren't they? No, thankfully we were spared from such torture, and instead got even more Macross Frontier references, with Mao opening the event with a concert. This made Prunsu reminisce how he originally became a Mao fan. Apparently, while on the run with Fua, he heard her music on the radio once, and it gave him the motivation to keep pressing forward even while he was literally on his last limb. A nice little story to give our little alien friends some not really needed, but very much appreciated development. After the concert, the actual auctions finally started with some fancy-looking necklace. Apparently, it was from a planet called Rainbow, whose inhabitants all turned to stone for unknown reasons, and this was likely one of the last remaining remnants of that fallen civilization. So yeah, this kids show just casually threw in a tad bit of genocide. Precure always picks the weirdest of times to get really messed up. They also introduced the currency of this galaxy, Kion, which, according to Lala, just so happened to almost perfectly equate with Japanese yen. Yeah, apparently currency in a galaxy many light years away from ours had a system of value not too dissimilar from Japan's. Heck, their symbol for it even looked like the one for yen. Not saying this is a big negative or anything, as it does make it easier for the viewing audience to follow along. I'm just saying it's a little crazy when you stop and think about it for a minute or two. Anyway, the Precure obviously weren't interested in almost all the stuff up for auction, but Drama certainly was, as he swept through almost the entirety of the auction. How much you want to bet this is all coming out of Daddy's pocket? The final item up for auction was, unsurprisingly, the Sagittarius pen. Well, I say unsurprisingly for everyone except our main heroine. Then why would you sit through this auction if you didn't at least suspect it would be one of the items up for bid? Yeah, anyway, Hikaru tried to bid but was instantly taken out by a 10 million Kion bid. Though I'm pretty sure that they can't convert money from a planet they're restricted from even making contact with. Drama, in spite of initially saying he wasn't interested, once again made the highest bid.
お手洗いの電球が切れていたのを思い出してね。代わりのライトでちょうど良さそうだ。
Yep, definitely using Daddy's credit card. As a side note, Dramas' name is a combination of dragon and Musko, meaning dragon's son. So basically his whole character was just being like most spoiled rich kids on Instagram.
You showing off your inheritance, son?
Shut up, old money!
Not wanting to lose the pen to this colossal D-bag, Madoka came up with a confusing plan. She was going to use Prudence's donuts as currency.
Oh, okay. What?
Yeah, apparently Madoka saw that one episode of Garfield and Friends, as just as soon as they got approval from this one food connoisseur, they managed to get the donuts valued at 1 billion kion a piece. Jeez, who knew Brock was sitting on a gold mine this whole time? But yeah, this is just ridiculous. I mean, I get what they're trying to do here, basically the concept of commodity money. But, unlike stuff like spices or teas, there was still no demand for this confection that the Hoshizora world had only now been introduced to and had only been consumed by this one person. Not everyone has the same taste, so there's no guarantee they'll see a 1 billion return on these things. But nope, the auctioneer just accepts these confections that probably won't last until the end of the day, though Madoka's not saying anything. Ultimately, I will give this plot point somewhat of a pass, as at the very least it does give Madoka some much needed development, but I just need to say my piece. Anyway, they used all the donuts totaling 7 billion kiron, and while Dramas probably could have outbid them, Madoka used a technique she learned from her father, and silently bluffed her way to victory with a confident smile. However, just as they were about to get the pen, it plus all the other auction items had been stolen by Blue Cat. Using Madoka's pendant, they tracked it down and surprise surprise, the chick who looked like a cat turned out to be a cat burglar. Hey, I just realized, that's the VA of Dekomori from Chuni. Say, you think you can teach Hikaru how to use those wrecking ball pigtails? We're 15 episodes in and she still hasn't used that as her main finisher. But yeah, as it turned out, Blue Cat somehow knew that they were actually the Precure and let them into the auction, hoping that they'd cause enough of a distraction through a bidding war over the star pen to allow her to steal all of the auction items. And as if they didn't have enough on their plate already, I1 just appeared out of nowhere, though at least her no trigger this time didn't look like an Oshimaida knockoff, and actually had the pretty cool design. Oh, and also she used Dramas as a catalyst, but honestly, who cares? He's been nothing but a tool. While her team dealt with the no trigger, Madoka tried to retrieve her pen from Blue Cat. It turned into a fairly exciting three-way dance, with Blue Cat certainly making a strong first impression when she pointed out that the donuts were originally meant for her, so in a roundabout sense, she could somewhat claim ownership over the pen. She also seemed to know I1, adding a little more intrigue to her character. Ultimately, to save both of them, she gave the star pen to Madoka. The pen itself was a perfect match for her, since Sagittarius represents the archer, specifically Chiron. As such, I think I'll indulge in my FGO fandom for just a minute. Also, major points to this pen for at the very least changing the shape of Madoka's arrow. After finishing off the no trigger, both I1 and Blue Cat retreated, the latter being a lot happier of the two, as she still managed to make off with all of Drama's winnings, and oh god, is this guy going to become a recurring character? They then met the Sagittarius princess, putting them halfway through their collection, which according to the auctioneer might give them a Shenron wish. Thus, the episode ended with the Precure heading home and Putsu trying to eat his troubles away with his 1 billion kiron donuts. You know, I always feel bad for Isamu Murayama. I mean, at this point, he may as well be working for the train companies for how many times he's needed to get his show back on track, which he definitely did in this one episode, as not only did he expand the world significantly, but he gave both Prudensu and Madoka the most characterization they've gotten since their debuts. As I said, while Prudensu has already been a great supporting character, giving him a little more characterization like an actual hobby only benefits his character. Through just a very short flashback, we saw that he has struggled with protecting Fuwa from the Notarators. The fact that listening to music that he wasn't even familiar with gave him a little bit of strength illustrated how difficult and emotionally draining his journey has been. Thus, when he learned that his idol was nothing more than a common thief, you couldn't help but feel sorry for the little guy, even though they tried to play it up for laughs. Meanwhile, Madoka definitely needed the development, especially after her last episode was mostly just a rehash of her Precure debut episode. Here, we got to see her truly apply her upper class upbringing against another, probably even richer guy, but still won out by simply having a stronger aura. Again, while the donut bartering was really stretching my suspension of disbelief, I can forgive it for at least giving us a good Madoka moment, showing off how she can talk like a true politician. The new planet of Xenia is aesthetically my favorite setting so far, and I hope we get to see more interesting Hoshizora planets like it, as well as learn more about their culture, even though it is a little out there, as I do think things like our economies lining up so perfectly is a little odd. That aside, this was a great episode that introduced a very interesting and intriguing new character whom we can probably all guess what her role is going to be moving forward, but I won't say anything just yet. Next week, it looks like it's gonna be another Madoka episode, and let's just hope that if it's not written by Murayama, that they can at least keep this momentum going for her character development. Progress on my next series review is going well, and I'll try to shoot for either a late May or early June release. Look forward to it as a certain someone's harem continues to increase. And until then though, farewell for now my friends, and if you'll excuse me, I think I'm just gonna go buy some Krispy Kreme stock, just in case.